Thank you.
Well, my name is Larry Casso. I want to welcome you once again to my studio. And tonight we have another version of a building I've done several paintings of and used in different ways. This is called the old Bennett home, store, up close to Alexandria, between Krotz Springs and Alexandria, Louisiana. It's really getting into a state of disrepair. What appealed to me about this section, I actually have this broken down into 3 or 4 pictures of the same building on that particular day. I'm almost going to do it a monotone, Joe.
That'd be nice.
I like it, just maybe basic brown, some of the different colors. And now structurally, I've got some areas here that I really feel I want to be sure I get at least within a certain range as far as the proportions in it, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little line coming down here and across, and I'm going to do the same thing on this. But I'm going to use something I don't normally do on something like this. We're going to sketch it out real quickly. And an area where I'm going to have my chair, I want to make sure I get it like I want it. And so I decided on some of the basic structure, I'm going to go ahead and use a triangle or a ruler as I'm using right here. Now this is not completely centered, but it'll do something close enough for me. Now I think one of the main things I want to make sure I get in here proportionally. Let's just start. First of all, I'll make this over here a little bit bigger to compensate for, let's come up like this a little bit. Now it intrigued me with the different workmanship that you had in here, right? And this is almost straight across, and we're going to let this be kind of in the center. And it's a little hard for you to see some of this right now, but okay, that's going to be just about perfect. So we did that. We'll bring this back down again here, and that's going to be close enough like that. And then we have another portion. I want to keep it where I don't bring it quite as close to the edge as it is in the photograph. And we're going to come like this, go to that part. And this store was built now in 1859. I believe this is when this was built. The original store was built there in 1917. And it was on that little road that you used to take. You were going to Alexandria, Louisiana. You would go through Krotz Springs, head north, and this would be the main road that you would take. And then here's another little area coming up. Now this part of it really does intrigue me. Now I've got a little bit more room at the top here I didn't put in, but we're just not going to worry about that. Okay. Maybe I will. Okay, now as I look at this, I've decided I need a little bit more gradation in it. And the nice thing about sketching, if you're not afraid to do it and you learn to do it correctly, you sketch it in, you block it in, and you're free to make changes and do whatever. So I know I've got most of my proportions in there correctly. It won't take me but a minute to maybe give this a little higher elevation. So I'm going to aim to come in with this one about right here, going up above the top of it, come back to about right here, and I think I like that a lot better, whether it's right or not. Because remember, reality is my photograph that I'm working from. But the minute I translate it to this particular subject, reality becomes what I see and what I do. So it's my creation now. Now we've got a line that comes in, see just a little bit on the underside of that one. Okay, now I notice that this window starts about right here. Now this is where I want to make sure I stay within a certain range on these things. So I'm going to use a straight edge. You know, some people might agree or not agree with that, but I don't have a problem with it. And
God would have made straight edges if you didn't want you to use them.
well, the thing is, I mean, you can walk across the street and somebody won't like it, you know. You can even critique a Bateman show in Washington, D.C. in a gallery, and you can find people that don't like it, huh, Joe? And I didn't ask for that job, remember?
No, that's all.
We were in a show in Washington, D.C., and I had taken a group up there. Let's see if I got a little angle on this. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of perspective on it. No, it's too close. And so some of the students would start asking me questions about some of the different things. Now see here, I'll get a little bit looser. And so I just started describing it. It was a Robert Bateman show, who's a real famous wildlife artist. And so I just started answering the questions, and pretty soon I turned around and, man, there's a whole gallery full of people standing around listening to me. And one guy told me he went to hear Bateman speak the other night. Remember that guy, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
He said he worked for the IRS, and he had to come to Louisiana every now and then, and he was come see me sometime. I said, man, I don't want to see you.
Never have seen you. I'm not sure I want to see you.
They're doing their job. I'm just teasing about that. But anyhow, he said he went to a very, very nice chap. Really a big fan of Bateman's when he Joe.
He certainly was.
You see, normally I like to have fun doing this without using anything, but I just feel like on this, it really will mess it up so badly. And again, we don't need rules, you know. We just. Now I noticed that this shutter's open here, and it actually goes just right beyond the tip of this. Well, anyhow, I'm commenting. This guy walked up and he says, "Man, he heard Bateman speak the other night, and he said you told him about how to do it better than Bateman did when he described it. You know, the artist, and it's because I taught it, and a lot of the students had introduced me to his work that wanted to learn how to do it. So, man, you pay me enough money, I'm gonna teach you how to do anything. So." So we got to be pretty good at Bateman, and I think, Joe, that what used to help was the fact that when we did Bateman, we worked it very, very detailed, and so consequently, out of the book, it looked a whole lot different than it did in real life, and it was really pretty effective. You know, I'm just gonna follow through and just stick with this thing. As a flat view. I never really thought too much about it, and then I think that'll even emphasize the chair part of it somewhat. Okay, now I'm satisfied. I've got my window in there about like I want it. Now the shutter in this particular area is going to come out pretty straight, so we're going to do that, and I like that fairly well. Okay, now let's looks like it's got a double frame out here, so we'll come in and do this. What do you think about using this ruler, Joe? You think that's okay?
I don't know. I know.
All right, man. If Joe thinks it's all right, I'm gonna do it. If the legend says it works, it works. Okay, now, I notice bottom of that window comes right across this part right here. Kind of interesting. And we're going to probably have that come in there like that. Okay. Now I know this is a little hard to see in here. I don't know whether they can see it out there or not, but anyhow, it works for what we're doing. Now this is kind of interesting, the way that this shutter's doing here, because we just sketch it in freehand first. So you got to watch, like right here. That's why I'm using this thing. So you can just get it off a little bit, and it starts screwing up the whole picture. So we're going to just bring that baby back in again. Now this is kind of what I did with that one I'm doing out there, that lawyer's row.
Yeah.
And see what, to me, I'm going to go back to what Olkowski used to say. When you're doing your preliminary work, always have it as close to being correct as you can. And then when you start doing your painting, that's the time you can come in and make whatever revisions you want to make, and make it, antique it, age it, whatever you want to do. So we'll try to show a little bit of that over here. Okay. All right, now I got the basic space in there. Why don't we just go ahead and get the rest of the stuff in? Now I'm showing only a small portion of this post over here, but I'm gonna allow for room to cut off the edge there. So we're gonna bring this sucker all the way down like this, and then I'm gonna put the. Now I'm seeing, since it's over a little bit to my left a little bit more. We'll go ahead and make this maybe a tiny bit bigger. You know, the person that had the store left a journal, and somebody discovered it in the store, and it was a journal of, like, for instance, everybody borrowed, you borrowed money from brokers in New Orleans to raise your cotton, and then you've used your farm and your land as collateral, and sometimes it'd be 2 or 3 years they would have a drought where you couldn't even get the get the stuff to market because of the drought conditions. And man, it was a tough life.
Oh, it was.
Lord,
No,
I couldn't believe it. Well, let's get my real main thing I want to get in there tonight. If we just block the rest of it in, it's going to be that chair, because I'm fascinated with the way that thing. Okay, let's put the first, block it in like this. Now, why don't we bring that camera around a little bit, Joe, where we can let the public
On the chair.
see how to draw one of these chairs, if I know how to do it. Okay.
I'm gonna find out
Now.
if he knows how.
Now, it's going to have a little bit of a lean to it. Now this, I'm going to do freehand and paint it freehand. I'm going to do that like that. May not be quite tall enough, but that's all right. And we're going to bring this round part off out like this, about halfway through. And that looks like that would be part of that back leg, but it's not. Oh yeah, it is. It
I
goes,
believe it is.
it goes
Uh-huh.
straight up.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the other part of it comes off of it. Now about right here.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna bring that down like that. And then this will be up a little bit higher. I don't know whether the exact proportions will be right on this, but we're going to have a little thickness like this. Bring that side down. Okay, then this is going to come across here right below the window, and it's not easy to get all this stuff coordinated here. And that's what's going to be critical to doing it. And we're going to let that come down here, and then right across here, the level it's at, you almost don't see any perspective. So we're going to bring this part out here. Bring this part out here. This is right about eye level.
That chair being down low makes this massive.
That's
big,
a very
tall.
interesting observation, Joe,
Makes it
because
very
that's what
tall.
really.
I think that makes it.
Now wait a minute. You know, I drew this kind of stuff on here, that thickness, but they were generally round all the way down, weren't they? I'll have to just get another one sometime. Check it out. Go down a little bit further here. And see, this is where I don't mind telling you I enjoy loosening up in the stuff that I do now, and I'm gonna correct it, whatever I need to correct later. And we'll come across here like this. Now this should have gone up this way a little bit. And then we're gonna come over here and do the same thing. I'm just gonna have to check on that thing. Did that suck off? It's probably round. Well, we'll worry about that later, like I said. Alright, and then we're gonna come across here and just have this part again, far shortened. That's not looking too bad, huh? Okay. What's your name, Mr. Larry?
Yeah.
Now don't go back and tell that Tuesday night bunch now that I do this on Thursday night. You get me in all kind of trouble, okay? I know you would never do that.
No, he didn't.
Now this is funny because you don't hardly see anything on the side of it. And I think that I think the shadows and all that are going to define this more than anything else. But whatever, we're going to pretty much leave it like it is. I see this looks like, okay, this is going to be the door frame over here. Okay, I believe I'm far enough along. You know, Joe, I wondered about that chair being that far down there.
Well,
and I agree with you now.
It's going to make it.
It really, that's what does it. Now,
that's the way it is in the picture, and it's going to give that really tall ceiling look.
See, what I love is that looks like some kind of. See, this was old stored, and it looks like that might be some kind of stuff that they've had out there on the porch stored or something like that. You know, it was really, it's been in disrepair. But what I love is, I love compositionally, and that's why I'm not really worried about perfection, because a lot of this I really purposely want to.
On the TV, it emphasizes the dark, so you can see the.
You really can see it. You really can see it better on the TV, Joe. That's right.
It's true.
And what I want, see this shape right here, is going to carry it. Yeah. And this dark here, and then look at the dark coming up here from the light area, and then you got the light across here. And then I'll probably make the shadows on this a little darker, and the shadows a little darker across the bottom. But look at the way you just got so many of these angles crossing it, and then the foliage area coming down here, and so I think it's going to be something very interesting. Well, I certainly enjoyed it. We'll be ready to finish it up and start painting next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's blinking away.
Well, we've completed our layout of this thing. Some of it's a little bit difficult to see, but you'll be able to see it a little bit more clearly on the drawing. We have pretty much of a monotone picture, judging by the color here. What I'm really excited about is I love the light pattern. I love the middle tone pattern in the shadows, and I love the way this dark area right here just seems to link it all together, as well as the darks in the window. So we're going to try to abstractionize it and see what we can come up with. Now, what I'm intrigued with, the time of the day that that I took this picture, it's just absolutely got the real strangest glow about it. It was not a building that was painted. It didn't have this particular color in it, and but I love the way the camera captured it, and that's where people agree and disagree on whether or not to use a camera. And you know, you always have people for and against just about everything. And but I just think sometimes the colors the camera give you are really very, very interesting, and it gives you a new way of looking at things. So I'm just going to begin step one we're going to take some of the yellow. I forgot to do.
You got to tape it to the masonry.
Yeah. We're going to take the yellow and the burnt sienna. And we were talking about how we did forget to tape this to the masonite, so that's just something we're going to have to live with. All right, and I just painted a light yellowish color all over it. You're not even going to be able to see it, but I think it's going to be something that's pretty crucial. So that's going to complete step one right there, as far as this part of step one. Now, while we're letting this set up just a little bit for a moment, then we can go dry it. Now, if I just let it set up like this, I think it'll flatten itself back out again. We're talking about I just forgot to put the tape on it. Now, I'm intrigued compositionally with the way this shadow locks everything in. And notice how you have this lighter reflected area up here, and then it's a lot darker, getting lighter as you go up, darker as you're getting lighter. So it kind of gives you a chance to repeat some shapes. But the primary thing that I'm excited about is back behind here, there's this cast shadow going diagonally across here. I'm not going to put any of this in. And then you have the shadows coming across here and all the interesting things that I think will be really fun to put in and fool with. Okay, picking up a little bit of that brown there. Tell you what, Joe, why don't you walk in and see if you can blow dry it real good for me, and then just lay it down flat and see what we do with it. Okay, we'll wait just a minute, try to blow dry it, and put it down flatly when Joe comes back. Now, this is going to have a lot more of a glow to it when I put the correct colors that I want to put on there. Now, biggest problem I have right now, I've just got to make a decision on how I want to put my my next layer as far as the colors. Now, I love this yellow cast. It's got a brownish tint to all of it, but I just can't resist wanting to come in there with a little blue and ultramarine blue and cadmium red. Now, I'm using our same basic sketching colors, which is the cadmium red. I'll think about that for a minute. We're using the cadmium red, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, locust green, cadmium yellow. And I want to try to get just the right combination of the red and the brown. I want this. I kind of like that. Okay, I got burnt umber, burnt sienna, cadmium red, and ultramarine blue. And let's see what this is going to look like as I put it in. All right, now we got one part of this shadow that comes down here, so we're going to just start right here.
That's a pretty color.
I think it's going to be fine. I didn't like this. I just didn't like the completely warm effect of that. That's why I decided to do that.
That's really pretty.
Well, you know, if you just get in there and just make your statement and just leave it alone. Hardest thing in the world for an artist to do.
That is very good.
Well, I dropped this a little lower than I planned to, but you know, who's counting? I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, as we come up here, we're going to have a lot more. This is going to start connecting. And then we're going to have this. See, I like the way this just starts coming over. And then it's going to just start going down this window, and it's going to stop right here. Come up a little bit higher. And that's unusual color, isn't it?
It's mauve.
It really is.
Nice.
It's a warmer mauve, though. And I felt like that's going to kind of keep the warmness I want to keep in it from the other colors. I doubt that I'm too close. That's still got. So that would really have been more like what the photograph is, but I still think it needs to be cool down a little bit, and that's gonna be close enough. Getting over there and just come in around here. Some of that later I'll have to just. Now see again, this is where this learning to simplify is so good. This is going to pretty well take care of itself. If I just follow what it's got on here. And then we're going to just kind of come down. Remember now that I'm going to have, let's see, I have a little more red in that, so what?
I think it's good. It's
Makes it
better to
interesting.
vary.
Makes it interesting.
Uh-huh.
Love that half-inch brush.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now we're still doing our step. See if I can get this to blend a little bit with the watermarks, but I can always come back over that later. Do some other things, because this, again, this is just my first stage, and then I'm going to be coming back later and putting it, starting at the top and putting darks that I plan to put in it. So we're not going to fret too much about it if it's not exactly like what we want it to be. So we have it here. I knew I was going to run out again. That's all right. Now look at how I was able to pick that up. I think I'm going to just take it on over to the next logical stopping point. Oh, I see. Now this comes all the way across here. And that's a good stopping point. Stop and mix a little bit more. Now that's kind of getting a nice feel to it just by itself, huh?
It sure is.
So we can just switch this back a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm loving this, getting this picture in your mind of where you want that bright highlight to be, and then coming back and laying in those middle tones all over, and then coming back. It's kind of like what I did at that workshop with that Carline's place.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I'm doing very much, so we're not going to run out next time.
We're not at the point where we need to take a picture of it.
No, because what I'm going to do, Joe, thank you. What I want to do, I want to capture the whole I'm going to capture the whole thing that I'm doing right here.
Okay.
That, in other words, we should have taken no, we didn't have to take a picture of the other.
No, it wouldn't. You couldn't even see the difference hardly with this yellow.
That's a good little trick to learn, how you can come back right away and put that stuff on there. And that's funny, you know, you're always looking for perimeters on anything you do like this. And it's amazing how we had the perimeters. I know what's happening. This is a little bit on the thick side. What we want to really do is we want to bring it down here, come around that corner here. What's wonderful is you can just do whatever you want to do in here. As far as changing it, you know, and doing the different things with it. I just think I went on there with it a little bit stronger. Now, I'm not going to fret over this part. I'm going to dry brush it out just because it's what I want to do. But I'm not going to fret over it because that is all going to be covered later. All right, we're going to come on straight on down. Now, this kind of something interesting starts happening down here. We get about right here, and we're just going to create some lights on here. And then we'll just have this come like this, and then all of a sudden, we start picking up these cast shadows coming across like this. Now, what I like about finding those is it just gives me an opportunity to get a good stopping point now. Wash it down to there before it all starts drying. And what we want is just to let this come on down. See what I'm really wanting to do. I'm wanting to work this into when we take those trips and do it on the spot and all. Man, I just want to be able to get out there and look at nature and do this. That's my goal. That's my next
I
goal.
would watch you do it.
Well, I
You
appreciate.
gonna watch?
Yeah,
Oh,
watch that.
Sarah, do it. We're gonna do it.
That's right.
I'm gonna back off of that.
No, it's it's something I feel very strongly about the fact that you kind of have to ease your way into it. You know, it's just. But the main thing is you have to make a mental commitment because it can get very discouraging. I did kind of get that messed up a little bit, but I'm not really worried. I'm gonna go over
Get some texture.
quite a bit more. Exactly, Joe. Now, and I know what it is I've got my pigment mixed up a little bit thicker on here, but that's all right. Now, this is kind of interesting because we're going to start right here. And then this pattern is going to go all the way down about like this. And this is what's intrigued me about doing this more than anything. Is this part right here.
Well, you certainly have just jumped in to do it.
Yep. Like as if I had good sense, huh? You know what'll create situations like this too is you'll pick up some of this is going to have a little bit more pigmentation, so it'll alter the way the whole thing lays on there. You know, if you have more red or you have more yellow, but I'm really not worried too much about this. Like I said, being uneven, because of course all of you know, once you begin to start doing that kind of stuff, if you don't watch it, you're just going to screw the whole thing up. And I felt like this was a good stopping point, Joe. And we got a couple of minutes, I think, for me to finish this because I'm really at step one
Get all
here.
that on would be step one.
You know, and I can verbally just tell them put a cover on it and blow dry it.
Your machines all have personalities, don't they?
How's that?
All these machines have personalities.
How you doing, young man?
They make noises at odd times.
They sure do. Sarah, I hope you don't mind us waiting until
No, I don't know.
next week on that
No,
because
I'm not gonna finish what I'm doing. I'm not gonna have much time to paint before next week. Isn't that just amazing?
okay, now see, I got something I'm picking up like this, and then it does this,
Camping around the sides.
and it comes back up like this,
That's the encore.
and then it comes down like this. Well, that's what I'm gonna make it do. And then it's just like little in a row.
That's all. Yeah.
Look at how that, and I love this kind of stuff.
Y'all have a good
Hey man, enjoyed it.
You too, Dad.
And then it's just sort of like it starts. Evidently something's broken. That is picking up that shadow, and I just thought it was very interesting. Now see again, I know I've got a lot of this on here a little uneven, but when it dries completely, I'll be able to come back in and do whatever I want to do on that. Okay, I think the final thing I want to do now is just to come across that bottom area. And, but you know, this what's so amazing. Now, let's look at this. You know, just where do these random things come from? And here we have a shadow that comes like this, comes down here, goes up under here, comes like this and curves, and then just goes all the way above here. And this is just intriguing. Comes down like this, all the way across here. Gives you that long, long area there. And then you pick up this little thing here, which in turn picks up the back of that thing. And then you have another, something coming across here. Now, hey, listen, you gonna take that home and try to finish it?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna work on it.
Go ahead, you can't hurt anything.
Sure.
Don't be
I
afraid
think
of
I
it.
was just a little extra tired tonight.
You look, you're doing great here.
Okay.
You going through the growing pains everybody else has to go
Thank
through.
you. Bye, Larry. Just right here.
It's fun.
It's great fun.
I love the way it's just all connected together. Okay, now I'm going to start over here. And this is kind of strange because this thing's just at a slight angle all the way across here. And then you come across, and you're going to have something like, it's this connectivity that I want to get. Now look at how this comes all the way across here, and it's going to connect right here. And you're going to have another one that does this. And man, I tell you what, I love it.
That is intriguing.
Okay, now we're going to start here. I'm going to start just about this level. I need to mix a little bit more paint. I'm just trying to get that last lick in. We're going to start right about where this is. And we got something that comes across like this. And then it just starts that journey. I got to remember, we want to end it right here. Isn't that just the weirdest thing? You can see where that point almost hits right down there at the bottom. Well, how about that? I think I did it.
I think you did. I'm pretty sure you did.
Now, there's a lot more stuff I could put on it, but I just think that's a good stopping point.
Okay. Don't forget to take a picture of it.
And I'm going to do it. I'll let you go blow dry it for me right now. Well, let's just lift this up a little bit. Now, I know this doesn't really convey the full concept of it here.
Step one.
But, you know, look at how even you're picking up the cool stuff right here. Because what I'm going to do later, I'm going to come back up in here, man, and when we put these real dark shadows, I'll put a little more burnt sienna in here. Then we're going to have all these subtle colors. Look at the grayish color like this, almost perfectly up here. And what's so nice about it, man, you can take a little blue and just, if it's too red here, lay it over some of these areas.
I can't wait to see you do all
Why don't you blow that, dry that for me? We'll go ahead, Joe, hold it, turn.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're going to begin the next portion of our demonstration, and I'd like you to just look at the original photograph that I took here for a moment. I tightened all that information, all that stuff up there.
Watercolor be done on masonite?
No, I'll tell you about it, what you can do it on. Not directly on masonite, but I'll show you in a little bit, okay? Now, what we're going to look at here is we've got some really beautiful contrast. And I want you to look at this. Look at what we have on here. I basically laid in my shadows, and when I did, I used ultramarine blue and cadmium red because that gave us a warm looking shadow base, more warmer than it is cooler. Now this is where I'm going to take some liberties. Come on in and have a seat. I'm going to take some liberties now, and I really want to develop this area right here as the most important part of my painting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, first of all, I'm going to take my burnt sienna, and I'm using my basic 5 colors. I'm going to put a little blue in it just to tone it down, and maybe a little bit of red so it doesn't get toned down too much. Okay, so this ought to give me pretty close to what I'm looking for now, remembering that I already have this covered with the base coat that's on there. So we're just going to start down right here, and makes me very thankful for my old sign painting days when I do things like that. And we're just going to come across here, bring it over here. We're going to do the same thing on this. No, we're just going to continue this across right now. And see, if you do this and move quickly enough, you can get everything in without it drying on you. And if it dries on us, we just don't worry about it. But I do find that it's a little easier for me to drag this back this way. And I might even want to take that picture up a little bit here. Okay, now we're going to start with this. A little bit of the red, tiny bit of blue again. And if it doesn't match, who's counting? Okay. Now I'm looking at this thing and I'm wondering, no, this is my door down here. So let's come back and get this straight. I have a little more red in it now than I did before, but we're not going to let anything like that bother us. Bring it on up. Now, I know it is drying a little bit. And I probably could have left this a little bit lighter down here, so like it's absorbing a little bit more of the sunlight. Now look at how I went back and picked that up. Very, very good. Glad I did that now. You see, a lot of times when you color adjustments, not exactly like you want it, you just dry brush that color over a little bit. It'll start giving it a nice color harmony. Now here, we want this to gradually be fading. And now I'll probably come back in and put some of these other shadows, but I love the way that broke that up down here. Okay, now let's make sure this is all going to be drying all right. Now I'm going to I want to move along on this pretty quickly, so I think that I'm going to stop. Put this on, is that red light?
Yes.
Right, now I want to go to the part I've been waiting for, and that is to come in and put this real strong dark. Now I don't want the warmer blues. I really want and purples. I want this to really be very cool. So I'm going to add a cool red to it. That's known as alizarin crimson. Now it's alizarin and ultramarine blue are extremely bright, and what I'm more interested in here is getting something that has a cooler look to it, not the brownish color that you have on most of this. So we're going to start this right across here like this. And then we're going to start dragging this down a little bit. In fact, we're going to just bring it down over the entire area. Now, as I get towards the end of this brownish area here, I'm going to start diluting it a little bit. And you'll find that when this dries, a lot more of my color is going to come through. And we'll just bring it down like this. While it's wet, I'll kind of do the kind of things I want to do here. But then, I'm going to stop at this point. I'm even going to use a little bit of black.
Gonna get some serious darks.
Serious.
That's when you bring out the big gun.
Got it, man. I'll tell you what. You got to get ready to run with the big dogs when you start bringing this stuff out like this. It's not puppy stuff here. Put a little black in there now to really do that little last thing to grab it. Now, what I want here I want this to very clearly and distinctly stand out here. And I'm going to stop it. Clean that brush a little bit. Get a little bit more water on it. Maybe a little darker than what I had anticipated, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't let any little thing like telephone bother us here. I say I'm going to get this nice lighter color coming down like this. I'm going to start picking. I'm looking right now for a nice place to stop, which is going to be just about right here. Now while this is still wet, I want to come back like I did at the top, but I want to make sure that this dark is just right up against here. Okay, and I want it to have this little bit of gradation in between. And then I want to come back over here. Let's tone this down a little bit. So you know what, I don't even think I was supposed to have any of this in here for that window. But you know what?
Is that a shutter?
Yeah. But you tell me who's going to know the difference. Oh yeah, I'll take it. All right, now Okay, now what we want to do, we want to take some of the brown, blue, and a little bit of the black, and of course, take a little bit of that Elysian crimson. And just about right here, got a little problem with the lighting, but I think we got it. I'm going to come down like this. Believe that man down here working, he's got to get all his orders. That was my daughter calling me from. They take, there's a group of them that belong to a yacht club in Mandeville, and they all take their yachts down to coast of Florida every year. Tough life. So she'll be probably telling about all these wonderful pictures she's getting and all the paintings she's doing. That's what we need, huh, Joe? No, I might have had that in there a little bit too strong. And maybe I don't. We'll just soften it up a little bit. I think when it dries, it'll be just like I want it. Okay. Now, I like the idea of having that darker black. See how this turns to purple and you really lose a lot of your color. So I'm going to, first of all, knock off this roundness on the top of this thing. See, what I can't wait for is start going in there and putting those shadows in there. Okay, now, what you think, Mr. Lackey?
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
Well, I found out with that one I did Saturday night, you just don't know what it's going to do until, is that the light still on up there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of that black in there again. I think it might be nice if we lifted this up a little bit. We'll see what we're doing here. Now again, we just want this dark shadow here dramatizing everything up under here. Now, what I want to do here is I want to bring this down like this. And then I want to start, I've got a lot of light in this area over here. And I wanted to start doing that. And then burnt sienna is a very, very transparent color. It dries very lightly when you put it on. So we're going to come in with the pure burnt sienna now mixed with some of this. We're going to start picking up a little bit of that orangey color. I think we ought to have a little red in there.
grapevine music on. Keep doing that.
Man, look. You don't have to be crazy to do this, but it helps. I'll tell you that right now. And I watch when that dries. I pray that's going to be. So what I really want to do, I wanted that. It's got that reddish, see that orangey tint, and I just wanted a little bit more of that in there. And I wouldn't have gotten it with just the plain brown, so I'm not ashamed at all to go to whatever I need to go to when that time comes. Now, one thing that may take away what's bothering me here is to just lose it. Pick up a little bit of that brown color. Now, the fun part now is, well, I'll tell you what, we got about 8 minutes, Joe. Is it working? Okay, now, what we're going to do, I want to begin doing some of the window frame, but I'm going to go back to this sienna looking color. I don't want the real strong color that we used here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start right here. And we're just going to make those shadows very clear. One stroke. And let this dry a little bit at the top. And then we have another little area right here. And we're going to do the same thing. And show that facial board. And I want something more in the range of what I've got here. And I think it's just so much fun to be the one that's the creator. And you can just take your time and you can just make it whatever you want it to be. We'll stop here. And this may not even show up.
We'll know it's there.
But yeah, and if we need to, we'll go back and. Wow. When it gets up in that area, who's counting? Now, I really wanted all of this because the next thing I would like to do is come back in here now. And this is going to be kind of warmer looking colors. I'm trying to figure what this is, what it's reflecting. It doesn't really matter. You have to ask, it doesn't count. Okay, so. But I do like this arch.
Yeah, it repeats over next to the pane there.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to make this very solid. We're going to go to a little bit of the black in there. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give a part of this painting a little relief. Now, it doesn't matter what it is or what it's reflecting, but as I come here, it looks like it could be some foliage. I'll allow that to be part of the mystery of it. And then we'll come back again. And I want to just show a couple of these window panes. Because I feel like this is when it's going to really start. Now a little trick on the window panes. I did those on the back side. These I will do on the underside. and leave that part open like that.
No window pane trick.
You got it. Okay, now, just real quickly, I can't resist it. Notice we have this light wash up here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little yellow in there. I don't know why, but
Intuitively, you think that's
we'll just do it. And see, I'll have a little bit of this over here, except I'll accent it a little bit more. And notice how this is going to start bringing out the window pane here. Will come across. And then we'll leave it, maybe it's leaves, you know, we have no idea. But what I love that you come in like this, and then all of a sudden, there's these wonderful, wonderful abstract patterns, like will come down like this. And it's subdued. So we'll do this, and then we may have some patterns up here that do this. And then we'll come back across here. And look at this, look at the triangular shape of this. And why, I don't know, but we will utilize that for our advantage. Maybe get a little bit more yellow in it again. I'm just about finishing up here. I know some of you need to go. Okay, now I'm going to come back across the top, and again there's this nice strong dark across here. But then notice across the bottom, you'll have it again. There are areas that you'll pick up a little burnt sienna, or just whatever color you want to use actually. But notice the patterns. What they are, I don't really know. And what they're reflecting, I don't really know. But it surely makes it interesting. And what I like, it loses some of those window panes. And then we'll come here. Wet a little bit of this to keep it from being monotonous. And then lastly, we'll put a little bit down here. And this is almost going to be completely light. So I will probably do the same thing. Nature is magnificent. It really, I had a lady, I was showing some pictures I took last weekend, and this one lady, she's just started with me. She's 82 years old and just started. And she's so happy to be here and just to be doing this. And I was talking about so many of the beautiful things that you see that are there to paint. They're not there just out in the open. You have to really look for them. And she told me, she said, you know, I've noticed one thing about you. I believe you can make a painting out of anything. I said, that's exactly right. Because we're not repeating nature. We're not copying nature. We're taking nature and we're liberated to the point that we're gonna make nature to be what we want it to be, or whatever our subject happens to be. Now it's a little hard to appreciate that now, but I think that's gonna work.
Nice.
Good stopping
I didn't
point.
get to see your pictures from We're on.
We're on our next level here with our doing our window. We're gonna step down now. We're gonna do our bottom window. And in case anybody has any questions about it, we do windows at the VRFA. I got that fixed where it doesn't shake quite so much. Okay, and the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave a lot of this, but this bottom area seemed to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna kind of repeat what I did at the top, and then if I wanna do something different, I can. I'm gonna take a little bit of man, I'm all set to get started early tonight. I forgot that young lady was coming in.
You need a paint rag.
Oh, he's
Thank
got
you, Joe.
one too.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Man, I need a couple of keepers.
Need some
and I
help.
really
Right.
appreciate it.
Well,
I think I got all my colors out here now. I got red, burnt, sienna, Boober's green, cadmium yellow. That's right. I think I got the extra ones on the side. I'm going to take a little bit of this. Take a little bit of, starting back up on our painting again, we can take a little bit of the burnt sienna, a little bit of the yellow. We got this thing worked out last week, man. Exactly what we want on this. Now, I need to put a little bit of red in that. I never get that color again, but I'll get something pretty close to it. You know what? I think it's mostly cadmium. Blue.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
yeah,
it.
you're looking for that mark.
There we go. It's pretty color, huh, Sarah? Well, you never know when you're doing these things what you're gonna come up with. Man, I still can't get over this point. I haven't been there already. With the flood, man, I tell you what, I can just about imagine how it feels. But
Does the insurance ever pay?
I think they have insurance. I don't know whether that's the first, I can't imagine that's the first time they have a flood, but I know the insurance is gonna pay for it. Okay, now I need to get some of this down here just a tiny bit darker. And it's gonna be slid over just a little bit. And slid over a little bit here. I just think this top section
I think it's just beautiful.
just really did it last time.
It's beautiful.
Okay, now, see, I'm below that I went in and put all those shadows and everything in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with what I'm doing. I'm gonna put a little bit more color down here. I think we'll have time. All right, now, we'll come back to that mauve color again. Love that color, Sarah. Just kind of a new color I came up with for myself, you know.
It's beautiful. You're getting a lot of variation
Yeah,
in
really.
value.
For something that doesn't have any color in it, that's what's so really exciting about it. Now, I'm gonna have this one come to about right here. I know what I should have done and I didn't do it. I'm gonna go back and do it right now. No sense in getting a hurry at this point. Got a pretty big area to cover. And I'll never keep this thing wet, so I'm gonna come back like this. And just wet it up at the top here. mean, it's amazing, cause these kind of things just really make it. And we're gonna
You'll
kinda,
turn it over.
well, thank you, Joe. Appreciate that very much, man. Oh, yeah, look at
There
that.
you go. That's what you want.
Mhm. Where you going next week, Joe?
San Antonio.
Oh, man, you gonna visit your dad?
Yeah, on the way.
Oh, okay.
55th.
Well, this,
55th high school reunion.
oh, man, look out.
Candy's getting old.
Tell you one thing, boy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
See all them old people.
Yeah. You'll hear about a lot of ailments, I'm sure.
I guess.
The funniest thing I ever heard was this one lady told about how when they went to their reunion, look at that, can you believe that? When they went to their reunion, that everybody at the reunion didn't want everybody else to know, I forget what year it was, but they didn't want everybody else to know that they wore glasses.
Oh.
So they all had nameplates on, and they came there, and all of a sudden, nobody knew who anybody was,
Because they couldn't
because
see.
they couldn't read the nameplates.
Well, I was telling Joe, we have a friend who has recently gotten a walker, and he was so vain, he wouldn't even take his walker to his high school reunion. We were so afraid he'd fall flat on his face, which would be a lot worse
Yeah.
than having a walker.
Man, you're not
Yeah,
kidding.
he didn't. He managed.
How old a fella is he?
He's about 70. He's had a lot of back trouble.
Yeah, bless his heart, I tell you. We're there, you know.
But we do not outgrow our vanity, for sure.
Now, I forgot one thing here that I regret. I'm just going to do all this. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to take care of it in a minute. Okay, now when I come down here, I love this little triangle like this.
Mhm.
When Daryl's having a night, man, I tell you what, he doesn't get in a hurry.
And it's so terrible about his chairs.
Hmm?
It's terrible about his chairs.
Yeah.
So,
What a hassle.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he left him in the front row, you think he would, all people would know better than that.
where did he live?
He'd leave him in the front seat.
Oh, gee. Don't cover up that.
I just did, I
Don't
just.
got it.
No, it wasn't a big deal.
That pretty triangle.
Mhm.
Blot it back out. There.
Mhm.
It'll be a pretty one that's going back in its
Yeah.
place.
Absolutely.
So you thought that was a mistake, Joe.
Yeah, I sure did.
Well, I really was
Well, it is.
just trying to.
Never pull that off. Who says you can't fix watercolor?
That's probably
Got it.
more natural, just like that.
Yeah, it is. It really does it.
Not
There's a
so
little softer
glaring.
edge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter. Looks good like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now. Now, you know what I'm missing? I had a little bit of this yellow in there. Just come back and put a little bit of that yellow down here. Okay, now. The only thing I notice here is I've just got a little more brown, but it's a grayish color. Now this is going to be a lot easier. Now see what I forgot to do. What I did up here. Well, I read last weekend about, I was reading John Singer Sargent book again. I was reading about how he used oil and watercolor on some of his paintings. So that was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
There, I thought I invented it.
That's awesome.
But I tell you what, I'm
But you did, because you hadn't heard of it before.
no, I just, and I tell you, it's just fun, you know, to realize all the different things that you can do, and you don't really need to follow any rules or anybody else's rules, your rules, or whatever, you know. Oh, we're gonna do this. Now, what I love about this,
It's got a nice dark
man,
thread.
I like that, yeah.
Pretty.
I hope it's gonna be wet enough to get, oh, I know what it, I probably had a little black in that other one. Oh, yeah, Joe. I think I pulled it off.
I think you did too.
You ever believe artists talk this much when they paint? Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of this. That's too much of that.
The red
A lot of this. Oh, man. But I'd say that's probably why I mixed enough of it to do all of it the last time. I'm gonna switch that though.
You know, I try to save my palette till I finish painting, and it's always getting so
The what
bad.
now?
I try not to wash my palette until I finish the painting.
I never do
Keep
either.
adding more paint.
Mhm.
The art's getting bad, you know.
Yeah.
And it bothers me, I like it clean.
Yeah, I know. I just reach a point that I just get aggravated with it. It never bothers Joe, by the way.
No, I noticed that.
Now, this one's gonna have a little bit different color than the one up there, but who's counting? Yellow. Yellow be my neutralizer. Okay, now let's just come back here with that black.
Okay, it's not showing anymore on the TV.
Oh, thank you.
See you next week.
All right,
Good
bud.
night.
Bye, Dale.
Now, what you can do with that?
It's keeping us in suspense.
Oh. Side up. Back in.
Too much yellow in it. I got a little more red in this bottom, but you know, I mean, again,
That's fine.
who really cares, you know?
That's
I
fine.
always come back with some more brown over it. Now here's the deal. For those of you that are just starting out in this stuff, you want to remember, whenever you're doing this, if you're going to wet a certain area, it's better to go ahead and wet all of it. Now, I got to remember this time. got the value right, that's the main thing. Okay. I want to leave that little white edge on this one now. Now, would you, the way this thing does this, and then
I
this,
don't know why it comes all the way down.
there's a little strip right here.
Mhm.
But who am I to question? And then pick up a little bit more of our black in here again. Actually, this is really what. See, what I love is just when you get to a point that you don't have, you just let it fly. Okay. So I did leave my little. Little area like that.
That's so nice.
Oh man, I tell you what, every little thing you do to it. Oh, what is that, 10?
Certainly get that window.
Or is that 10 to 10?
It's about 2 minutes.
Okay, well, we're gonna get these windows done. Now, I got one other thing, now you see this bottom one, we just go for broke on it, man.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah. Make sure, watch them windows for me, sir. And then so we're gonna leave our little white area again here that I left off on that other one. So even if you don't have it exactly right, it still just gives you, even if it starts drying, you get a little bit of an irregular pattern. And see, this one's going to be pretty much. This one's going to be just pretty dark, period. And again, we get our nice little shape down here that's not. Now this, boy, when you start getting this connectivity on areas like this, this is what really starts bringing out the abstract part of it so beautifully. And see where you have that lost and found on these windows, I'm satisfied with that. You know, it doesn't bother me. Soften some of this here now.
That's great.
Okay, now, a couple of more real quick things. Now let's just go back to what I should have done to start with. I don't know where that yellow came from. But it's going to come back through there. It's going to be perfect. Well, the yarn saying sergeant didn't hesitate to use that white too. All right, now lastly, I'll show you how this is going to really bring it out. Got one more little area. for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Separates those two windows.
It's beautiful.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's
Good.
beautiful.
I think it's starting to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget a picture of that.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Yeah, and I need a copy of this one.
Okay. Well, I think we'll just go ahead and stop it tonight.
That's one.
You think that'll be okay? Hmm?
You can't work on it anymore.
No, they won't let me work on it. Can you believe that? I'm supposed to be the teacher.
He but some things he can't do. That's why once he starts this.
Is that red light still?
So breaking.
Is it off now? Okay, we're picking up the next section of our demo here. And I think tonight I'd like to finalize this section in here. Maybe get our chair done. Some of this foreground stuff we could just about finish it tonight. But I think I already got this too. But there's enough cloud up there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that red light on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's just see if we can just whip this chair out, because again, we've already decided that this chair is not that big a deal as far as
A few shadows.
just far as what we want this thing to be. So we're gonna handle it accordingly. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do, I'm gonna take a little bit of the yellow and the burnt sienna, and so that we don't lose it. I'm really a little concerned about that, though. Let me get a little bit more. I want to have it where. Okay, but I have just a very. I don't want to lose the velocity of the. So what happens is the building behind this is a little darker than the white of the chair, and I think I'm gonna have to go back in now and just take a little bit of color and make the chair slightly darker
Mm-hmm.
for our purposes, and then we'll go back in and put the details and this kind of thing. Now remember, I did go back in and think, yeah, this is all we're gonna need, so I'm just gonna come on across like this. Okay, now we have a little thin piece of lattice looking stuff here, and then we have one that's relatively thick right here. We're going to bring that down like this down like this, and then it comes here to about like this, and then about like this, and then it's cut. It's got something in the middle here, and then it's curved. Joe, that was something about those dogs out there. Really treed that.
They must have. 'Cause
They
boy,
treed that.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know.
And, there's a big old coon out there.
Yeah. Oh man. And you know what you got? There's some people is, man, they just don't have enough sense to understand what they're doing, but they feed those things every day.
Shouldn't do that.
And they're
Not good.
creating an artificial environment there
Mhm.
for them, and they just inbreeding and inbreeding. And
Mm.
they're not really helping anything out or anybody out.
Yeah, I could go over there taking stuff out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
See, I knew if I just kind of got fairly close on this, on the drawing of this chair. That, yes, I like that a little bit better now, Joe. That's going to get sunk. I'm going to lose a little bit of the brilliance of the light, but I'm going to compensate it by having the chair just a little bit darker. I tell you, I'm not saying it to brag, but I feel like some of the things lately that I've been doing, I really feel like I'm in the same zone as these people I've studied my entire life. I think I'm really understanding it, and it's very powerful.
It is.
Now, I'm going to let that dry for just a second. And while that's drying, now, I do have one area in here that really I'm noticing is actually some of the, I'm just noticing something here that I'm going to be able to utilize to some degree to break this up if I want to, but I need to watch I don't overdo it. Because I noticed that in some of the shadow areas here, this kind of brownish yellowish color I've got, there's a facial board here. And it's just comes down like this.
I see it.
Now, actually, this looks like it would have been another window. No, I think it goes all the way down. I'm going to make it go with it, like this is a door. I'm not going to stop and try to figure that out right now. Okay, but see, I noticed that up here, we really could get a little bit of this, and I think I'm enhanced what I've got down here. Oh, no, I do like this.
I like that.
Look what it's doing here. See, that's what we really. So we're gonna come down, and then as I get down here, see, since I made the chair darker, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now, how about that? Now, that's a little surprise. And it makes me so proud I'm here. Well, where can you go? Get the best art in the world. You get good music thrown in at no extra charge.
Live music on top.
And I tell you where she made her mistake.
Oh, no, where, Larry?
Next week, I'm gonna have that Patsy Cline recording out here with all the words written down,
We're gonna get her.
and we might let it sing. We might let it sing "God Bless America" while I'm doing this demo.
Get it on tape. That would
Get
be
it on
really
the tape,
nice,
man.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we might even have a little duet going here in a
Boy,
minute,
we
man.
just do anything. Oh, I can't keep up with her.
I'm telling you, man. She's really
Belt it out.
She belts it out, man. Oh man, this is so much fun. So I wondered what I was actually going to do with some of this stuff over here. I'm going to just do the same thing here. And see, what I like now is you notice it, the same little shadows you got up here, you got up at the tops of these posts, and at the
Sure
bottom
do.
where you got some cast shadows. You tell your grandmother I want her to come back and visit us sometime. Okay?
Oh, right.
She was a lot of fun. She really, boy, she mixes, doesn't she? She just got in there, man. I told her go in, look around. My grandmother's from Romania also. She's
Oh,
the
really?
sweetest lady, yeah,
Yeah.
man. She just went in there, shook hands with everybody. Like she was running for some kind of office or something, boy. Now, see, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to leave a little bit of this. Now, I just noticed where I screwed up here. Okay, and I'm going to be able to fix it, because that was supposed to have come down like this. And, you know, it's just hard to believe. I started out teaching a daughter 30 years ago, then a granddaughter, then her.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean,
She
it's
told me
just-
she'd already framed two of those.
Well, what
Two
she
of
said,
those,
she's aggravated with them for taking her pictures. They all moved away, Cannon.
She had to do one of her own.
She had to do her own. Yeah, you know, I noticed that we got this little color down here too. So we're gonna put a little bit. Yeah, look. Hot dog.
Tie it all together.
Yeah, and see, it's making the part where I don't see. That was the only thing I was worried about. It looked a little bit monotonous. Whew, man, we still got 15
Oh,
minutes
yeah.
here, Pete. There ain't no telling what's gonna happen tonight. See, this is what he did. Okay. And if you can you do this in other mediums, or else you can do it just as fast as you can do watercolor if you just let go and you know what you're doing up here and you see it. That's the key. Now notice how over here we've got a little bit of this coming here. Now see, when I come put it up underneath there, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. But we got some of this color coming down like this. I don't wanna, and then I'm gonna come back and do some of that other stuff a little bit darker later. All right, now I'm gonna get. So I like the way, if I can remember how I mixed these colors. Now I took the burnt sienna, and I think I took a little bit of red, and I took a little bit of that blue. And I'm really trying to get this color right here again. I believe I got it. Pretty close to it. Let's get a little more blue.
I think it's more interesting when it's real close, but not quite.
I do too. Oh man, I'm a firm believer. I preach that all the time. People worry too much about that. All right, now we're gonna just come down like this, and I want this to. Main thing I'm worried is not the color. I want this to be dark enough. So we're gonna come across. See, and I want it to be just about like it is in this picture. Okay, now maybe I can just put the little zoom in now. Did y'all notice how I fixed it? Where it doesn't shake anymore. Well, just a little bit. These high tech art schools, man, you can't keep up with. Oh yeah, this is a perfect color now. Oh, right on the money. Or the perfect value really is a better way to describe it, because that's what I'm looking for. See, when we get over here, everything's in shade now. So we're just gonna come down like that. Okay. Oh yes, ma'am.
That is just a beautiful.
I love it. Not really fuss about it too much. Just do it.
I assume Kaylee brought your painting back today.
Joe, she's got it. I don't
Okay.
know when she'll bring it
I
back.
thought about
but I
bringing it.
appreciate it.
I
But she's
I
been
knew
good
she
about it,
was
so
good.
it would have been
Yeah.
fine either way. She
Yeah.
wouldn't have minded. But she was so sweet. Jane Alowinski put 3 of them in. Jane has just come along so well. So proud of her. And that I kind of encouraged her to get back in the guild, and she won that popular award,
Yeah,
and I think that really. But I'm just really proud of her. She's really holding on and just moving forward with her life. So glad to be back in art.
Yeah, that's the best therapy in the world.
That's right.
Well, Joe, did you put something in the new shower? Did you put another one in?
I just didn't have anything I really wanted to put in.
I didn't last time either.
Well, I put in some
I had-
stuff I've never shown, just something. I was ordered to join that thing and support it, so I do it. But it's hard sometimes to keep up with it when they have them every month like that.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Man, would you just look at this? A dog. And see what I like about it, you come in with all that kind of stuff like that, and then you kind of connect it. And you bring this down like this, and you bring this down like this. That's all you need. And then you come along and shadow on the front of this like this, and that's all you need. And then you put your little dark under here, and the dark on the end like that. So we're really not worried about bringing out any detail. But I do like some of the areas are a little bit darker than others that I like, but I'll come back and compensate for that in a minute. Okay, now. This is just really so much fun. Some of this I definitely want slightly darker. Some of this is still damp down here, so I better leave it alone. Okay, now this comes down here. We're going to come like this. We're going to make it That's what you're supposed to do, is not worry about it. Now I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Then I'm gonna come back and put the stronger type darks in it. Let's just finish this, and then this is gonna take care of it. Okay, now when we get here, we got this shadow. Well, I'm gonna come back and we'll put part of it like this. This is actually part of a shadow coming across here like this. I'm gonna just use that.
Tighten it.
Kind of make some of this a little bit darker here on that shadow. And just lose it, really. Just let it.
Well, look at that on the TV.
Oh man, it's starting to do it. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of that burnt sienna.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate it. And I noticed that when you came to the tip of this, it's really dark. And then we're going to have a little line coming under it like that. And then this part right here is, they've got, for some reason, is extremely dark. Okay. Now what we did here, we got to come back with some of this other color now. We got to go back over here like this. Group that together. I think this is maybe still a little wet, but I'll just bring it down anyhow. You know, some of that's kind of running, but now this, you know, you never know when you do it what it's going to do, and I don't really care because we're going to just work at it. Some of that dried a lot lighter than I had hoped it would, but no big deal. This time we'll come in and we'll just get a little bit more forceful with it.
Yeah, I had a feeling, I want to go see a movie, I didn't make the Day After Tomorrow. It's called Day After Tomorrow, it's about the weather systems of the world is kind of just crazy, and guys, all over the
Hello.
Come on in.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
Just good to see you. You got it just in time to get a little demo here. Trying to learn a little something up here. We'll come across that. See, all of this, I feel like I need to enhance just a little bit. So what I did is I laid all those basic shadows in, and then I'm taking some of this new color that I've got that matches all this. Now, I feel like
That's connecting that to
That's
the
good.
top.
exactly, and I never even thought about it until just now, Sarah, when I did it. Now some of this kind of ran a little bit down here. I'm just going to come back with it afterwards and take some white paint and clean it up. That's what Sargent did, and he used all with his watercolors, everything, man. All the kind of stuff we doing.
right back in the Golden Beat on the other side, that's the sound right there, it's the intercoastal.
Okay.
He makes it look so easy.
Yes.
Well, I hope so.
So precise.
I imagine Sergeant would have fooled you. I imagine he would have made it look easy.
Well, I think that's the,
Don't you think?
Joe, I think that really is the part about it that as I read his, you know, different ones on his biography that really made me to understand, you know, and there's certain things that he was just a genius. I mean, you know, I think that sometimes there are people that had natural talents that come on the scene in life, and you know, there he lived in Europe his entire life. I found out his mother had an illness, and evidently his father was wealthy enough. He was a retired physician that they could live in Europe, where he was born, and actually lived there his whole life, even though he came back and forth to America. Now, I gotta watch, because I don't want to get this too strong here. And I think that's just going to be about enough to stop right there. And then I'll come back. In fact, let's just, since that's going to bug me till I fix it. See, then I'll come back in, and I feel like I want to really be careful with these shadows, but I feel like I can come back in and do things like this. Like there's another shadow coming back there, maybe make it climb over the back of that, come up like this, and then it goes up here and comes over here. And then see, some of the shadows, are, like what I did up here, they're really a little stronger than other parts of it. And so I'm going to save that for next week, but what I love is the way we can just come in here and abstractly start combining all that. And I remember we talked about this before, because it almost looks like it's part of the chair, and to the point that you lose the chair.
Two times of the year is getting ready to happen. One of them is like Thursday. You want to be, you don't want to go Thursday.
Okay, now let's take that white, mix it with a little bit of that yellow, burnt sienna. Mostly white. I'm just going to come right down here. Pull it right back out again. I might have to do it a couple of times. Oh, that's okay. It's going to work. And see, now that I know that it's relatively dark, I'll just put it like that, and it'll probably dry just about the perfect color.
Looking good.
I think it's a good time to stop, folks. Now, see, I think I really want to watch on these shadows, because I like, so how this one just is darker than this one, and I like that. I want to watch. I don't overdo it, and then see, I'm gonna have other things working for me. Like I love that brown and red combination, and like little things like this are going to really make a big difference when I can start coming in, dragging things like this down. Start with it a little bit more brown to continue with the color, because I don't want to get away from that particular effect. And then there's a shadow cast behind that, see? And I'll do the whole thing at one time. I'm getting a little bit thick down there, but we don't have to worry about that. All right, folks.
Hey, don't
I
forget
believe we'll
the
just
picture.
call this one finished.
Take a picture of it.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Good time.
Do you want to vote us up?
How's that? Want to welcome you once again to our studio, and we're about ready to put the final touches on this thing tonight, I hope. No hope about it, Joe. We're just going to do it, man. Okay, now, I know I can get a little bit freer, so I'm going to start doing it. And start, first of all, by getting a little sienna and burnt sienna, put a few of the details in. Not anything really. Now I'm going to do a little trick here that I learned from a fellow artist a number of years ago. The way this light is so bright, I really don't want this to be that clear. And I don't want to draw my line on this side. So notice how, as I bring this across, you can really use this effectively. And I stop at this point. I'm leaving a little space in between. And so when I leave that space there, this automatically creates the edge of this thing. And you do it by illusion rather than drawing you another line. Y'all see what I'm talking about here?
Yeah.
And actually I could have left the lines out, but I felt like it would really be nice to add them to it. And they're going to be real light up in here. I purposely want to get a lost and found effect on this thing. So we're going to just let them go into remission here. Okay. And then we'll come down here and we'll do this one. And this one. And while we're at it, let's just carry this all the way across. Really don't want to fuss too much. Now, I'm going to come up here and right under this window pane, I'm going to have some of this just a tiny bit darker. I went over a little too far with that, but we'll just put the eliminator on it by coming across here and making this a shadow. Well, it's not going to match exactly, but we're not going to worry about that. Just a little bit, we've got to get this baby finished. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Set.
Okay.
Better?
Look the video for the next one now, okay? Now, we're going to come in across here. We're actually going to show, I better mix some more of that color that I mixed with that red and blue. Make up my mind to do it. Brown, I don't know the one we did in here. It's going to be close enough. This one's got more burnt sienna, so let's just, what we want to really do here is just antique the bottom of this window, because what I want to do is I want to show this ledge. So we're going to do that. And just to make sure I don't flub the dub here, I'm going to turn it back like this. Bring it straight across. And I'm going to come out the same way here. Okay, and then we want to take a little bit of pigment, just softly, start blending some of this up.
Nice effect.
How's that?
Nice effect.
Yeah, just enough of what I needed there, see? And then that's our little ledge, and then, you know what I did? Well, I'll tell you what. I added a line that shouldn't have been there,
Mm.
so, we'll just leave it.
Who knows? Who's
I was
counting?
thinking about it. Nobody else?
Just didn't want to use too much of that blue. I did that, but that's all right. I'll soften that a little bit in a minute. Okay, I think that's going to take care of that area. Now while we're doing this, take a 1/2-inch brush. 1/2-inch brush. That's what I need. All right, now let's come across the bottom here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. Just do something where it's not going to be quite so noticeable. Tone some of this
What
down
are
a
these
little bit.
boards called?
How's that?
What are these boards called?
Uh,
The thing you have no.
actually, Peter, you could probably go get one. See me about it later. I'll fix you up with something, okay? Because I get these in large sheets and get them cut up. Okay, now, okay?
Sure.
We'll fix you up with something. Okay, and I love to just do this, come back while it's still a little bit wet. And reinforce this. Okay, now I'll let that dry. Go, I just don't want to do too much down there. And notice how you'll have a few places will come out like this.
Where does this picture come from? Where does this picture come from?
Larry took it several years back. It's a small part of a larger picture.
What's it from, a sketch trip?
Actually, this was over in a place called, I don't know if you've ever been to where you had to take Krotz Springs. We have a famous artist named Doris Trella that's from there.
From Bunky?
No, she's from Bonky. Yeah, you take a little right at Bonky, that's where you...
It's just fabulous. I just love it.
This one? Oh, it makes me feel good. Okay, now, I've already committed on making this somewhat darker. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to make it, okay, no, I'm going to make it slightly darker. Because it's funny, if you look at this, this is darker at the top, and the post is reflected against it. Then when you come down here, it gets lighter, and then the post is darker. And I love the fine effects like that I can utilize. Okay, we're going to just further accentuate this stuff here. A little more blue in there. Oh man, I just absolutely love doing that thing. Do you have a question, or are you just looking, Peter?
I'm just watching.
Okay, buddy, whatever you want. Glad to have you. Let's see, I got it wet enough where I can... See, I'd like to go back, talk about that other deal. I'd love to go back in the fall and really do some outdoor stuff. We can see things a little bit better with all those old buildings and everything, you know. Yeah. I'm going to carry that dark all the way through over to this side, because I feel like it should be the one that I've got over here. This is not cooperating down here, so. Do a little bit more dry brush. Okay, that's just about going to take care of that. And I didn't mean to have any water on that when I did that, but it's the brakes. And then I think I'm going to come down here with a little bit more of the burnt sienna, this bluish color. And end that like that. Now, I think we can make some of this a little stronger now that we kind of know where we're at. Remember how I went back in and darkened some of it at a certain point? I made this a little darker and some of that a little darker. Well, I think that's going to take care of it. Okay, now, since all of this is done over here, we kind of have the same situation where it's a little bit lighter at the top, and then I did show a little bit of that window. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and make that one dark all the way down. Okay, I've got this coming in. That was supposed to be a window. I don't know what. Is there anybody counting? Okay.
I don't know what that is. We'll never know.
Now let's get a little bit of this.
Part of the mystery of the picture.
Yeah.
Really true, man.
Part of
Everybody
the
ought to
intrigue.
see that after that lecture last week on Peter. If you don't understand that by now, shame on you. You're not going to keep up with the art in the year 2000. But it's fun blazing those trails, and I feel like that's what we're doing with a lot of this stuff. Can you see while it's wet? Let's put a little bit more of this in here. You know, it's hard to believe as you start looking at this. This is more of the This is the seat of this thing. You know, follow what I'm saying? You start looking at it, you start asking yourself the question, where do these shadows come from? Okay, now I don't want to really fuss with this too much, so let's just leave it. Let's come on over here now, and we're just going to go with the straight blue and brown, tiny bit of red. Now what's interesting is how this is darker up here. Right. Man, reminds me of the old sign painting days. I'm not about to touch this other part. I'm gonna leave it well enough alone, bro. I guarantee you.
One of the first jobs I had, guy offered me, I forgot, $5, I think, to repaint a sign. I didn't even have to design the sign, just had to go out and repaint it. It was huge. It was on a fence. Man, I bet I worked a week on that thing for $5.
$5, huh?
That was a lot of money in those days.
In the good old days.
Yeah. But that $5 go a long way.
Now you got to realize that was the late 1800s.
That's
Now.
right. You don't know how
That's
old
what
I
Papa
am.
was talking about there. Now, Atticus quit being so fussy and let some of it run together.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Before I screw it
It's
up.
not important out there anyway.
I know it. Thank you for
Values.
reminding me of that.
It's just values.
Okay. Now, I'm going to let that dry. And it's because I noticed they have all these shadows cast on this area. And by toning all this down, it puts the center area more in a prominent position. All the screws and then that white paint. Squeeze me a little bit out of there, Joe, if you don't mind. Okay, now,
You got here?
just anywhere.
It's got
Now we're going to come back here. Forgot one little area there. Well, I take. Sarah, we're making a disc for you on
Oh,
those pictures we took the other day here.
great, thank you so much.
Yeah, we're going
Did
to.
you
I
take
need
digital
that.
pictures or
Mhm.
you took digital pictures? Okay. Where are they?
Well, I printed the best ones.
Where's the rest of them?
Well, I deleted some.
You did. Well, Sarah, that's not, I didn't delete mine.
Let me see, I think I printed most. I think I printed
Oh, you
just
printed
about
it?
everything.
Okay, you gonna go put on a CD to share with us?
Yes, I would, but I don't have a computer that does all that.
Oh, you don't have a CD burner?
No, I sure don't. All I have is a printer.
Well, you need to bring it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to do it, now you know.
Bring your camera.
Now, if you don't want to share, Sarah,
I
that's
do.
all right.
Just tell
I
us.
do,
You
I
just
wanna
have to tell us that
share.
that's what.
So I can get what y'all do. I know Sharon works 2 or 3 ways.
If you bring your camera up, well, we can do it right up here.
Okay.
That's what everybody else does.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And we'll teach you how to do it. You probably have that on your computer.
No, I think we have to get a new computer.
Oh, I see, okay.
You don't think you have a burner?
I don't know. Our computer's 7 years old. So I don't,
No, it may not, Joe,
it doesn't have the USB.
because I know it says it's going to be Windows 98.
I've got a Windows now.
No,
We have Windows 95.
I'm not in Windows
I
now.
mean 95. Ooh, I love this. Now, I went a little farther down than I wanted to
No,
with this.
I built my own computer. All you gotta do is buy the thing, plug it in.
What operating system you on?
Windows XP.
That's what I got on the laptop.
I'm going to do that, and now I'm gonna come back in here.
Took me more than a year to get all the stuff, but, you know, make it work.
Well, it's pretty astounding that you're able to do it.
Well, the stuff ain't cheap, that's for sure. Yeah, buy the motherboard, the CD burner, the CPU, the CD-ROM, and the floppy disk drive. And you gotta install it on the first time I did it. There was no video in it whatsoever. Had to bring
I'm
it to
forgetting
the
what I'm doing, Sarah.
computer heavy.
Well, I think it's working out.
Yep, I think it is.
Mm.
All right, now see, I know down here,
You remember that?
want to have that little darker shadow, and then we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna start at the top. Make it just a tiny bit darker. And see how that starts fading.
All of that is focusing on the middle.
It really is. It's just taking all the attention away from everything else. Okay, now we're going to turn this one upside down because we want to make this one real dark at the bottom. So we'll take the blue, raw sienna, and the red. Pretty dark down here too. Interesting. Study what these shadows do more.
There he is. I believe we're gonna,
Hmm?
I think we're gonna finish this
I
up
can
tonight.
promise you we're going to finish it. The rest of it is going to be the unfinished symphony. So I want to make sure I drop back now. It's hard to believe this building was built when it was built.
It sure is.
I got it a little bit off up here, but again, who's counting? So I want to get that dark on into light, pick up that reflected light up there. And see, again, I could think about all kind of things I'd like to do up here, but it's just not necessary. Now, what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to come back in. I'm going to pick up some of the shadows. See what you don't really see these shadows too clearly off of here, but it looks like they're really coming in from the side, but I'm going to pick some of them up anyhow. I like that better. I don't want to make a zebra out of it, but okay.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Okay, now, I'm not going to the end of this. Just put a little bit of highlight like this on here. Because I tell you what, that cross section there, that perspective really makes a difference. Okay. I lost my lines, but we're just going for it. They told me I got to finish this thing tonight, or they're not coming back. They got in the you know, they were a lot.
I didn't say
We
that.
put
They
up
were,
with this,
they were a lot nicer when outside people were here watching
we
before.
put up with this long enough.
I got watch, I don't start doing this too fast now.
Don't get excited.
No, that's right.
It's the easy parts that mess you up so many times.
Man, you're not kidding.
Me, the part I think of it's nothing to it.
So I'm gonna pretty much keep it going all the way the same, but it's not gonna matter. That's close enough. Think it looks all right? All right. Now, got to do this. I love these little, and see, a lot of times if you leave a little line like that, it creates space behind it. Just by leaving it, and your eye automatically closes it. And we'll let that ending connect right there. We'll lose some of this, make it look like it's the same. Okay,
Wow, look at it.
now, looking good, sir? Okay, now, lastly, pick up some more of this grayish color, but I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow. Oop, I don't know if I like that. Let's just go more with the burnt sienna. I think that's still wet.
Have a good week, huh?
All right, good to see y'all. Sounds good, man.
Good night. Flower man's checking out?
Not yet. I gotta see put the, then we'll touch it on a good picture.
Okay. But he's not gonna put the flowers in it now, that's what you're waiting on.
No flower?
No flowers.
No flowers, man, I'm sorry.
Flowers been dead a long time.
I'm gonna do this. Man, I tell you what, my confidence needs that. Hear that right now.
That dimension.
Yeah, dementia is right.
Nice touch.
I got one more shadow to put over there, and that's it. All right, now let's just go on up yonder. Hit that sucker. Hey, enjoyed it, man.
Have a nice one. I'll be
Good
careful this week.
You too,
See you
Dan.
next week.
Nobody fall on your feet. It's definitely hot.
Man, phew, you are so right. That's funny, I noticed this got a little bit darker edge to show that reflected light, but it is darker here. I wasn't studying that real close. Okay, I think that's just close enough for what we need here. We're ready to go on. All right. In fact, the only thing I might want to do now is just move a little bit of that blue and red, brown.
Be an interesting palette for a portrait.
Yes, it would.
Man, I tell you what, I finally had somebody use this to do a portrait. And it
Really?
was- oh, man.
I know I wouldn't want it.
You know, and I've always wanted to. I've just been too busy Kia scoring and all that other kind of stuff, man. Challenge. But I love a lot of this stuff. I'll get started with it, and then I got people that do it, you know, and it's fun.
It's almost like doing it yourself when you teach somebody else how to do it.
It really is. So
Gives you more time.
mm-hmm. All right, now let's I'm gonna get this pretty strong under here. See, all I got is that top section, and I can trust you. I'm not gonna fuss with that thing.
Mhm.
Stop that.
We're not supposed to yawn at art class.
And see, we don't need to fuss with that. I don't need to fuss with any of it. Now, come back up here. I'm just gonna get a little bit of the blue and brown. I'm gonna define that a little bit better. And so I just love that reflected light. See, that's what I wanted it to do. I hit places like that. I like to do them a little bit. I like doing them a little bit wet. I think it just adds another effect to it if it works. Okay, so I got enough separation and all that. Now this right here, I think I'm gonna come in. I'd tell you the truth about it, I drew this wrong. And I moved it over a little bit, yeah. I hate to disappoint y'all at this point in the game.
Okay.
Okay, we got this coming under here. Let's pull a little bit more of this now.
Yeah, I think he's gonna pull it off.
Well, you know, I think it is.
You know, I appreciate the confidence factor, man. Now I'm gonna fix this. We've been waiting on this white for a long time. Just a little bit too watery. I'll get to come back. Let it dry a little bit more. I don't want to fuss with that. Okay, boom, 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 boom. I think we're about ready. I'm toning it down a little bit if I feel like I need to. Okay, I'm seeing anything down here that seriously that I'm missing, you all?
I don't.
Okay, then let's just head on up here.
Just jumped in.
Just a little bit different color
That's good.
than what we've got down here. So I'm gonna kind of add it as another area, but see, likewise, you also got a lot of different washes over it.
I like that color.
But what you notice is it's really not, I don't want it to compete with that area down there. Okay. Now this is going to do a lot on here, but I'll carry a little bit of it down. No, I won't. We'll leave that. All right, now a couple of places like right here. I don't want that to be unfinished looking. Okay. finish this baby with time and spare, Joe. I think when that dries, it's gonna be just the right color. Okay. Can I get you to volunteer to go blow dry for me real quick, Jim?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna go down to the last portion of it here. Put my little shadow in I felt like I needed there. Kind of like what we have coming off of that post. And I think we're about ready to call it. Wind that sucker up. What y'all think? Get a little bit of... No, I know what I want to do down here. Yeah, pardon me, because I had some of these last sections I wanted to come to. So I'm gonna put that like that and make out like there's a shadow coming across it. Do it like I did it over here. And we'll leave it.
Very nice.
What y'all think? Ready to call it
Fabulous.
finished?
I think it's finished and fabulous. Look at that.
Well, you know, you can really always go in and keep working and working, as we all know. So I watched right here. I was going to show you one more thing I wanted to do. I kind of lost some of it. I lost what this post was doing. So I'm just going to lift me a little bit of reflected light. Took care of that. Well, let's go check it out on the main TV.
What's that?
Well, we're going to go ahead and wind this one up. Let's put the finishing touches on this, Peter. I'm going to let it dry real good overnight before I cut a mat for it. But we see it a little bit more finished when we do this. All right, I'm satisfied. I think that one came together just like I wanted it to. And we'll just go ahead and call this one finished. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck if you decide to paint it.